In this video we are going to talk about 10 things I wish I learned earlier in life. So before starting this video, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for future updates. It's normal to reflect on our lives and say, I wish I'd known that when I was younger. However, this can also result in a deep sense of guilt, as we persuade ourselves that we've somehow squandered our lives up to that point. But this is a fundamental misconception about life. To be enslaved by this remorse is to be enslaved by the need to validate one's own self-worth. This is a hunger that can never be satisfied because it stems from an insecurity that must be resolved first, and yet demands constant feeding. You'll be able to conquer the fear if you can break the feeding loop, turn inward, and face yourself bravely. It's your life on the line. You don't want to look back in 20 years and be even more disappointed, do you? This list is one part advice for anyone looking to improve the quality of their lives and realize their true selves. 10. The world is your oyster. This is one of those things I wish I had realized when I was younger. You can start a company, write, go to school, travel, and even become a monk at a Buddhist monastery if you so desire. You can do so much more than go to college, get a basic degree, find a job, and spend the rest of your life working a 9-to-5 job. And this is more real now than it has ever been. It's not always clear how you can do things like fly without a regular salary. However, if you get imaginative, you can find a way to take any direction you want. It's true that you won't be able to play in the NBA because of your physical limitations. That's fine. You don't need anything too unique to be satisfied and fulfilled. The point I'm trying to make is that you aren't as bound as you might believe. 9. Put forth your best effort. I didn't learn the importance of hard work until I was in my 20s. Throughout school, I had no understanding of hard work and had no idea that anything I put my mind to, no matter how complicated, I would be able to accomplish. In my 20s, I discovered this, and it was nothing short of a revelation. It's not just a cliché to suggest that you can do almost everything you set your mind to. That is, as long as you are willing to put in the effort. But remember to keep things in perspective. I don't bring up this argument to force you to work for a sports car and a mansion because that is misguided for other motives. If that is the case, ask yourself why you want those things. Rather, I say this because something worthwhile, including a daily meditation practice for the purpose of suppressing negative self-talk and seeking inner peace, necessitates hard work. One of the most important lessons I believe a person can learn in their lifetime is that hard work is not only necessary to achieve something of real value, but that hard work can also be used to accomplish anything. 8. Place a high value on your friendships. I never fully realized the friendships I'd formed as a kid, and I came to regret it at one point. I was practically alone a few years after high school, with no one I could call even a decent friend, except for old best friends, whom I didn't know at the time but with whom you still retain some sort of connection. That was a huge letdown. It took a while for me to get over the feeling of isolation, but I swore to myself that I would never make the same mistake again. I'd later use Facebook to reconnect with several of my old friends, and in some respects redeem myself. Even though it was only online, it felt nice to reconnect with old friends. This reminded me of the significance and strength of friendship. It's not easy to find a true friend, but once you do, cling to them like a lifeline. Treat your good friends as if they were relatives, and don't be afraid to tell them how much they mean to you. Opening up in this way strengthens ties, which can make all the difference as emotional storms rage overhead. 7. Have faith in your own abilities. This one may seem obvious or overused, but it would have been one of the most powerful points on this list for my younger self. Developing self-confidence is so crucial that I couldn't overstate its significance if I tried. Why didn't I say, believe in yourself, instead? That's because it's too ambiguous. Believe in yourself, everybody says, but what does that really mean? Believing in yourself entails trusting in your own abilities. Your ability to complete daunting tasks, overcome obstacles, and persevere in the face of adversity are all important. Building trust in yourself is a gradual process of stacking small victories. The exercise I call the path of progressive accomplishments is the perfect way to do this. 6. You will make enemies no matter what you do. Also, the Dalai Lama has his detractors. Don't worry about it, it's just the way things are. People will see things in you that they like, or things in you about themselves that they despise, and they will project that onto you. Then there's ignorance, which is the greatest foe of all. Both of these things lead to people hating others, and being a bright light inevitably leads to people who need to let go of something inside themselves wanting to unload the problem on you. However, there is a silver lining. You will learn more from your rivals than from any other life experiences. Compassion, patience, and empathy are all attributes that are tested and strengthened as a result of encounters with our adversaries, and they are among the most valuable qualities an individual can acquire. So welcome enemies with compassion, love, and understanding, rather than avoiding them. Use them to turn yourself and show them what true greatness looks like. 5. Be cautious of who and what you associate with. Take a moment to consider how the mind functions. Since each thought is simply a message being transmitted to your brain, your thoughts are one of the most important forces in your life. The more you think about something, the more you reinforce a specific conviction about yourself or the world around you, depending on the thought, and these beliefs have an enormous impact on everything you do. The people you communicate with on a daily basis, the partnerships, operate in a similar way. The words and acts of your associations are pieces of information being transmitted to your brain in the same way that a thought is a piece of information being transmitted to a part of your brain. 4. Don't let someone else make you stop living your life. I'll be the first to confess that I've been a victim of this. Even though I was just in high school at the time, the lessons were still given. After my senior year of middle school, I intended to attend a private high school. I completed the sign-up process, went on a tour, and completed the first session of the required community service hours, roughly 8 hours, because we couldn't afford the outrageous tuition, and ultimately decided to attend my city's public high school because I didn't want to be separated from my girlfriend at the time. Looking back, the memory makes me chuckle. That was fool's love, to be sure, but it taught me a valuable lesson, one that I saw many of my friends make later in high school. Don't let anyone else make you stop living your life. I'd seen it many times before. Two people would get together and abandon all personal ambitions and plans. They will, in a literal sense, cease to be themselves. Many of these people, including myself to a degree, though thankfully not to the extent of some of the people I knew, will begin to distance themselves from their mates. Even if the two people remained together, this was still a poor decision. This isn't the only way to lose yourself in someone else, but it's the most popular, especially among teenagers. You will come to regret it if you lose yourself in other people. 3. Become self-reliant. To me, this has a very wide sense. This means knowing how to take care of your mind first and foremost, as well as your body, and how to live in the world on your own. Self-sufficiency is beneficial not only to your own well-being and overall life, but it is also beneficial to the lives of others. To be able to live self-sufficiently, you must be able to take care of yourself in large part. This necessitates you relying on others less and, as a result, assisting others more. The simplest way to think about it is that you are a bright light. Depending on how bright the light is, you can either barely light yourself, requiring help from others, or you can help light others around you, similar to how a lit candle helps light unlit candles. To understand the true value of being self-sufficient, you must recognize not only the significance of looking after your own well-being, but also the reality of your interconnectedness with all other beings. 2. The internet is a priceless resource. Learn how to make the most of it. The internet would be one of the world's largest countries if it were a nation. People used to laugh at the thought of seeking legitimate solutions to real-world issues on the internet 10 years ago. What are you doing now? It's the first thing that people look for. While most people are aware of how to use Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter for entertainment, as well as Google for the occasional stumped brain, many are unaware of how to use it to find solutions, or the gateway to a solution, to many of their more complicated problems. 1. Be cautious about who you seek advice from. Don't take anyone's suggestions at face value. Many people will try, but you should be cautious about who you seek advice from on a regular basis, particularly when it comes to major life decisions. Everyone has an opinion, and many people believe theirs is the correct one. The most important thing is your own personal experience and knowledge gained as a result of that experience. Do some study to see if the advice seems reasonable at first and if you believe you will profit from it. Try it out in your own life if you think it's a good idea. Instead of taking what others say at face value, you should really focus your judgment on certain personal experiences from your own experience. So that's it for today's video. If you enjoy this video and want to hear from me again, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell before you go. Thanks for watching.